Sports Money brings you back the PGA coverage for the 2025 calendar year. We're down to the FedEx Cup. The playoffs are here. We've got a shortened field. Top guys made the cut. We're down to a 70-man setup this week, Jeff, and we've got ourselves maybe a battle shaping up. There's quite a bit on the line, despite the fact that it's not just the playoffs and the FedEx St. Jude's Championship this week, but Ryder Cup. We talked about this the last video we did. Ryder Cup players on the line as well. There's bubble players out there right now. We've got some guys that are trying to make their way through up to the top 50. This will be the top 50 that make the cut and move on to the next round. So we're going to do things a little different, Jeff. Before we get there, tell us what's going on. How you been doing?
Doing good. As you had mentioned, a shortened field here should make for some pretty exciting storylines, I guess, throughout the week. And as you got over there, the weather should certainly play a factor. It's got to be one of the hottest weeks of the year. So the heat might play a factor for some of these boys that aren't necessarily playing in Florida year round. But I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good tournament.
Yeah, so I mentioned there's a number of players that are, call it bubble players this week. We'll talk about the top 10. I'll just rapid fire. JT Poston, Kit Kurdiama, Bud Colley, Joe Highsmith, Aaron Ray, Johnny Vegas, Max Greiserman let me down last week. Stephen Geiger, Mackenzie Hughes, and Tony Finau are those top 60 players on the outside looking in for this next week. We'll see if they make our cards. We know, as you mentioned, it's going to be hot. Should be favorable conditions, though. The greens should be firm. We should see a couple things going on here with this track. Undulating fairways. That means the ball is going to either be above or below. And anybody that's a regular golfer knows that's going to make the ball take some interesting flight. Maybe it moves it left. Maybe it moves it right. And you'll have to counter for that. There's a lot of water on this track too, Jeff. Plenty of hazards. As I was looking at it, it kind of seemed like it profiled a little bit more like one of them links courses when it comes to the types of hazards and the undulating fairways. But we're going to do things different, as I mentioned at the top of the show. We're going to go into some different betting styles here. We're going to go some tournament groupings. There are 6 groupings of players. We're looking over at DraftKings groups A through groups F. Jeff and I are going to rotate. Jeff taking group A, me B, Jeff C, etc. We're going to pick one of these players. And, a lot of this comes down to 2 things. One, we know Scotty Scheffler's in the field. This guy's a monster and a big favorite down to that plus 220. We talked about him a couple weeks ago. If you put $100 on this guy every week to win the tournament, you're barely up any money overall. So we want to try to fade this guy, but we're going to finish it off and give you guys 2 of our outright winners that we like for this track as well. Again, a 70-person field. You're going to find these options in tournament groupings, group betting, tournament groups. Look at your books and see what they're called, but we're going to pop it off. Jeff's got the group A, the FedEx Jude Championship. It pops off Thursday. Jeff's Group A matchup consists of 5 players: Scotty Scheffler, Tommy Fleetwood, Ludwig Aberg, Xander Schauffele, and Justin Thomas. Jeff, the floor is yours. Kick us off with Group A.
I'm a little disappointed I drew the short straw and got Group A because, as you know, I do not like to take Scotty Scheffler week in, week out. And unfortunately, he's minus 140, the biggest favorite on the card. Go figure, especially in this group. So I went a little differently here. I'm going to put probably a quarter unit on Xander Schauffele at plus 500. Again, I'm not trying to give out a Scotty Scheffler. I do think Scotty's going to get it done, but if anybody in that group has a shot outside of him, it's going to be Xander Schauffele at plus 500. So I'm going to put a quarter unit on him for the Group A matchups.
You're not going to tune in here to hear us talk about Scotty Scheffler. You do that at your own demise, but we'll roll on to Group B's. Matty Fitzpatrick, Victor Hovland, Sammy Burns, Colin Morikawa, and Patrick Cantlay round out this top 5 matching. And I'm going to go to our guy, Matty Fitzpatrick. I talked about this guy. He's been in a couple of my cards over the last couple of weeks. And yeah, a couple things going on. Top 20. He's been in 5 straight tournaments. This guy's finished in the top 24 of them in the top 10, including that tournament last week at the Wyndham Championship. And I think this is a guy that's got quite a few things going in his direction. He's got some Southwind experience, 3 top 6 finishes and 6 appearances out there as well. So very capable of punching his ticket. Nice little price tag here for our guy, my guy, Matty Fitzpatrick. And this price tag's plus 280. He's the favorite in this grouping, but again, a plus 280 to kick it on, Jeff. Talk to us about Group C.
Yeah, Group C, we got Russell Henley, we got Sepp Straka, we got Cameron Young, Ben Griffin, and Corey Connors. All guys that I've played top 20s, top 10s pretty much throughout the year, and they've managed to do pretty well for me. This is kind of a crapshoot. I think anybody in this group could get it. I do like Russell Henley. I have him in a couple of different spots, and I think he's going to probably come out on top this week. You got Ben Griffin, who needs these points. You got Cameron Young, who also needs these points. I think Corey Connors is pretty much out of it at this point. But give me Russell Henley in Group C at plus 260.
The Russell Henley action for our guy, MMA Jeff here. Again, keeping it moving, guys. We've got Group D. We'll roll on here for my next selection. Group D consists of Hideki Matsuyama, former winner. This guy won here just a year ago, Hideki Matsuyama. Keegan Bradley. Interesting note for Keegan Bradley. He talked about this last week. He's not just going to auto bid himself into this. Even though he's a captain, he's not just going to auto bid himself into the Ryder Cup. So right now he sits in that top 10-ish position, trying to look his way in. I believe it was the top 5 that are going to make this thing, top 6. I can't recall offhand. And then even Robert McIntyre's in this. Harry English and the local out of nowhere guy, Chris Gotterup, round out that top 5 setting. Group D battles, and this was a very tricky one for me. This is probably one of my favorite setups here because they're all great price tags. I mean, it's hard. Obviously, the winner is going to be the right way, but it's hard to go any other. And I got to look at a couple different guys. I'm going to put one of them in my overall winners. I like Chris Gotterup here, though.
You got the magic.
If you misplaced your card,
Slide to the right and the card's locked. Unlocked. Locked.
the Chase mobile app has card lock, and it has encryption technology to help you keep your data safe. That's peace of mind from Chase.
Plus 360. Yeah, we talked about his Scottish Open, talked about his British Open, aka the Open. He flies back stateside. Maybe he got a little jet lagged as he went out there, but look, clearly shit the bed. He goes off to the 3M and he finishes for a top 10 finish out there. This guy's got all the motivation in the world. He is sitting there, very much a position to strike. He wants to get himself qualified for this first time and maybe be a Ryder Cup guy as well. So a plus 360 price tag for Chris Gotterup, Jeff. Before you move on, lots of different ways for us to play these spots that we're giving you guys. Some great price tags, Jeff. Do you ever do round robins?
I used to do those. I don't really play in that. I haven't done one in probably about 2 years now. I'm a fan of them, but I generally bet it throughout the week as well. So by the time I start to finish 4 days of golf, and I'm generally wrapped up pretty heavy. So I don't do the round robins anymore. How about you?
Every so often. I was thinking about that as we were looking at this card the other day, talking about some of these golf matchups with 6 rounds and just trying to pick, one player per. If you set it up, and anybody that's not familiar with round robin betting, it's basically you picking your spots, you're picking your selections, and then you're telling the book to give you a designated number of parlays, and they'll mix it up so that it covers all the bases out there. If you have 6 players and you want to do a 2-man parlay, then they'll put all 6 of those guys in the various 2-man parlays to cover it, 3-man parlays, 4-man parlays. But I thought it was a timely consideration, considering we're only given these 6 players, not the top 20s and top 10s that we traditionally did. You can certainly play these guys as such, but might be an interesting way to attack it. Maybe group a couple, 2 or 3 of these guys that you like on your own in your group bettings out there, and see what the books can come together to give you a shot to make some big scores. When we're talking about price tags in the plus 300s and plus 350s, they can certainly pay out nice, Jeff. But look, Group E is yours. 2 group selections left. We'll give you guys our outright winners as well. Bring us into Group E. You've got Jordan Spieth, Maverick McNeely, Harry Hall, JJ Spawn, and what do you want to call this guy? Recent celebrity, Wyndham Clark, sitting there at plus 360. How you going at this one?
I think Wyndham's got too much going on after he beat that locker up and all. He got all the flack for it. Good for him being passionate, but I think that might have screwed his head up a little bit. I was on Harry Hall the last couple of weeks. I feel like I've been on him a lot more recently, but he's actually seems to be taking a little bit of a dip in his gameplay or his play all around. And I think Jordan Spieth, I think he's got a lot riding on this to push himself into the Ryder Cup. I think he's probably going to need 2 of these 3 victories in order to actually get a shot at the Ryder Cup. I'm going to roll with Maverick McNeely in this one, the Group E winner at plus 320. I think Maverick's been having a pretty solid run at it, and he's another one who needs these points. And I can see him finding his way across the finish line here.
Maverick McNeely action. Group F, brings us home for the top 6. These are group betting. Certainly have plenty of different ways to play, and we talked about round robins. Consider these players that we're reading off. Every book's a little bit different. If you don't have these golf matchups, maybe look head-to-head. And when you see a guy like Aaron Ray versus a Shane Lowry or Jake Knapp, Daniel Berger, or Jason Day, keep in mind the guy I like in this spot here is Aaron Ray. He's a plus 250 price tag. He's the odds-on favorite in this group at plus 250. So I think it's a really fun way to play it right now. Why do I like this guy? Well, he's had some significant or some series success here at this track. He's been battling. He's got some great starts in the first 2 rounds of various number of tournaments the last 2-3 months. He ranks number 55 right now. So you got a guy that's motivated to try to get into that top 50, make himself to the next round of this FedEx Cup. He's not too far behind. Literally, he's about 38, 39 points behind JT Poston to climb into that 51st position, if not better. And at a plus 250 price tag, I think there's a lot of opportunity here. A lot of great guys, a lot of great names in this grouping as well for price tags. But I like Aaron Ray to move us into our outright bets, Jeff, here. What do we got? How are you going to try to go and take the big score? I know it's not going to be Scotty Scheffler. Talk to us about your outright winners.
No, it certainly won't be Scheffler. I'm not saying he's not going to win it, but I certainly won't be putting my money on him. I'm going to roll with the same guy that I picked for Group C, Russell Henley. I got Russell at a 30 to 1 for the outright win. I think he could get it done. I think he's probably going to have a hot start out there, so I might even look to play him at 35 to 1 for the outright or first round leader. I'm sorry, but outright leader Russell Henley plus 3,000 for me. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at a couple different spots that I like here. I'm going to go to Harry English. I talked about the Chris Gotterup matchup, and Chris Gotterup at plus 360. I like him to win that round, but I can't dismiss Harry English. A little bit older, a little bit more the elder statesman. Is he having his second?
Same old phone? Nah. Upgrade to the new Galaxy Z Fold 7.
His second win, if you will. He's won here before. Granted, it's been over 10 years. The thing I like here, I mentioned the undulation, balls being above or below your feet. I mentioned the water. Where's the biggest factor that somebody can make an impact? It's the iron game, right? So being able to control and have the old steady Eddie out there. He's been a streaky putter, if that. But here's the other factor. 5th in the field in strokes gained over the last 3 months, despite his situation and how things have positively or negatively been going for him out there. I got to take a little Harry English. I think this is a good opportunity for him to go out there and try to sneak the flag. He's around 45 to 1. So I think there's a really reasonable shot to take a whack with this guy. And that doesn't mean there's not several other players that might make honorable mention here. But again, they're playing for this tournament. Moreover, they're trying to win the FedEx. So those motivation factors that we talked about are big. Certainly, you can't go wrong with guys like Colin Morikawa, Keegan Bradley. He ranks 7th. Is where Keegan Bradley ranks out there, but 10th in the Ryder Cup standing. So there's got to be some motivation for Keegan, Justin Thomas, just a few guys to name in this field. But that being said, Jeff, any closing thoughts? Tell them what's going on and where they can find you.
Yeah, I actually heard an interesting stat, and I have to fact check it. It was on the PGA radio, but Oberg has been cut from every major event this year.
Oh,
I got to check that. I got to fact check, but they played it on, it was on Sirius XM. So I got to imagine they fact checked it, but I do want to take a look at that. I might look into playing him to miss the cut as a sneaky play. I have not looked into it. I heard it on my way home today. So I will certainly check that out. But yeah, you can find me over at X MMA Jeff 19. As always, we'll have some first strike plays coming out. We're running pretty hot in the last couple of weeks. And we got the Saturday show, which is, I think, at 4 or 4:30 this weekend. So it's a little bit earlier. I think there's only 11 fights on the card, but it should be a decent one. Outright, I think we're going to see some solid plays this weekend. Looking forward to it.
Good stuff. We'll be live betting. We have preseason NFL football popping off here this week. Of course, this will be week 1. We had that little sneaker last week with the Hall of Fame game. Nice cash. I saw you on that, the total. I was on the side. And we're going to give you guys more action here. Jeff mentioned joining us Saturday live, 4 p.m. We'll pop off for this UFC card. We'll give you guys more. Preseason football should line up on Saturday. We've got Major League Baseball. We've got WNBA. We're just getting started. Get yourselves ready. Have fun playing your golf bets tonight. You can find me at PimpSlapPod on X on behalf of the Sports Money crew. Thanks for checking us out. Smash the thumbs up. Hit the notification button. You don't want to miss the content when we drop it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Show the support. Appreciate everyone taking the time. Have a great day.
I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now
Welcome in. What is happening, everybody? It's Pregaming. It's 6 p.m. It must be Monday through Friday because the best goddamn sports betting show on the planet is popping off live right now. You are here, and I appreciate you guys showing up. It makes a lot of sense. We've been firing. Where the hell else would you rather be to get all that last breaking information, cash flow, line movement, injury analysis, the direction the wind is blowing, whose birthday it is? Just kidding. We don't care about birthdays or bobblehead nights, but we do care about rock concerts that are happening after the games. And we're going to do it here live tonight. It's a small slate, but that's what makes us great. We fire. It doesn't matter. Dustin says, you saw half my golf video. No, Dustin, you saw all the golf video. If you got here at 5:45, you saw the whole golf video. 14 and a half minutes of golf for you guys. We put that content out there. We want to make sure everybody gets to see it. There's big money to be made from it. And we're changing the format. We're improving the screen time, giving you guys more best bets, more opportunities for you guys to cash winning tickets. Cash winning tickets we did last night. We were, 6-2 on Monday. We're up 4, almost 5 units, like 4.9 units or something like that. How about 7-3 yesterday? We won 4.66 units. Incredible day. Was it an accident? Well, we'll talk about it in just a second. That's my teaser. We'll recap the day. It was a glorious day. It was great money being made, some great live bets. We had a great live show. I told you guys to check these live shows out. Don't sleep on the spots that we do it best. We cap the damn games all day long. You know we're going to find angles to attack. The Mets law of thirds is the best damn angle in all of sports. Maybe. No, I take that back. I told you guys last night about a spot today, and that's the best damn angle in all of sports. Maybe. But the Mets, we gave out the Guardians here first 5, plus a half. Thought, I want this money. I even said, I want this money. I don't care if it's minus 112. I'm not going to get greedy. I want this money. They go down 2-0. The live bet, first 5, plus 3.5, I think it was, said, no, I'm going to take the plus a half. It was plus 420. Gave it out live on the show last night. That cashed. We cashed the Cleveland first 5 plus a half pregame here on Pregaming. We did not cash the under 7.5 in that Pittsburgh San Francisco spot. That was difficult. But we did cash the Oakland and over 7. What an easy game that one was. We talked about how bad Mackenzie Gore was going to be in that spot, and bad he was. Downright atrocious. Cleveland comes back, gets the win for the first 5. Unfortunately, the Mets are just not good enough, and they could not come back and win that game. So I did live bet that a little bit on that. Lost that one. Shame on me for betting the Mets. Don't bet the Mets. That's rule number 1. I can't believe I did it. Milwaukee Brewers crushed them. The cap on that was stop fading the train. Just get involved. Minus 145. We laid a little juice. We cashed it. We did not get the over 8 in the Yankees and Texas game. That was sad. It was a sad spot there. It was a 2-0 finish for Texas. Hey, The Eovaldi train, man, that thing keeps rolling. And he gets another win. I think it's like 15-0 position. We did cash the Cubs first 5 under 4. That was a 1-1 tie. First 5 under 4 cash for us. The under 8 did not cash in the Tampa LA spot. That was disappointing. We did cash the Padres. Big comeback live. You got to be betting these things live. We finished the day off talking about the Padres. I think it was a plus 375 live spot on the Padres. Cashed the first half in the LA Sparks. Sparks sparked them. They won that first half 54-43. And then we cashed the Minnesota Lynx plus 2.5. They win outright. I told you, them gals win outright when they're dogs. Don't fade the train. We kicked ass and we took names. And we live bet and kicked ass and took names. It was a glorious evening. You can hear it in my voice. It was a midweek cash out. Who the fuck saw that coming? On a Tuesday. Big money in the bank. Big money. I told you guys last night on the live show, I prefer to keep the bank, roll at a certain amount, and just take money out when it gets to a certain point. And frankly, we got to that point last night with those big plus money spots. We had a huge Monday. We had a huge Tuesday. Was it an accident? The answer is no. Because we busted up the books this afternoon. Busted them up. Right in the mouth. 7-1 afternoon. Now, listen. Silver and gold members feasted. If you supported us over on Winnable, you feasted. 7-1. The only loss, sadly, was a double dip. We lost the first 5 under 4 in Baltimore and Philadelphia, but we did cash the under 8. We did cash the Pittsburgh under 8. We did cash Minnesota plus 1.5. We did cash the Cleveland Mets game, not the Mets, the under 7.5. We did cash the Chicago Cubs. We did cash the New York Yankees. And by the way, it was tied 4-4. We had over 8.5 in the LA Tampa Bay game. We cashed that. 4-4 means it's tied. I see now it's 5-4. That's a winner. So I recommend strongly you take an opportunity. If you're already a bronze member, we appreciate that. Maybe it was gifted to you. Maybe you took the opportunity to get involved. I encourage you to dig deep. Get out there, become a silver or gold member. Couple extra bucks to show some support. We're not corporate America supported. We don't have big donors, big sponsors, big checks being written to cover overhead. We don't. It comes out of our pocket. So when you guys do support us, we want to support you and deliver the goods. So silver and gold packages are always appreciated. You know, silver packages get plays during the week. The gold packages get addition of weekend plays. You've got the opportunity to go over to Winnable. Get the text alerts. Don't miss the plays that we are sending your way. Get them as soon as they drop. It's been nothing but gold for us right now. We are having, it's got to be the best damn Major League Baseball season in the history of the planet. 1 unit bets. Every single spot. 1 unit. No chases. No 3%, 4%, 5% like some of them other big companies do. Those 5%ers, by the way, 90% of those companies under 500. Yeah, I got the data. They tried saying they got big edges. They tried calling us out. They're losing. And they're blown away that we can find a way to stack unit on unit on unit. And it's because there's no shortcuts. There's no, easy outs. If it was easy, everybody would do it. And we stay engaged. And that's why we have now. Shit, could almost just shut the show down now. We don't need to have a show today. We already won our money. We already got it. But the reality is we capped the card. We've got Oakland and Washington's going to pop off, Milwaukee and Atlanta, Kansas City and Boston, the White Sox in Seattle, a trend you won't believe. San Diego and Arizona will bring us home. And then we've got a single WNBA game today. So we will attack the WNBA as well. Before we do any of that, though, I need you guys to support us by way of thumbs up. That's the most important thing you can do. We appreciate the likes, the retweets, all you guys that do that. I tell you, it means a ton. Makes me want to come back and do this. Share with you guys this free action that we have. And if you take the opportunity to make a comment post-show, that's super important too. But the most important thing in show is hitting that thumbs up button. If you haven't done so now, take a second, give it a crack, and we'll get started. As I mentioned, our pursuit to continually improve the viewing, the format, the clicks, all of that stuff, getting you guys winning bets is what we're looking for. And so we're going to start to layer in pre-shows, both Ramon Scott's Morning Steam and the pre-gaming shows here, our UFC shows on Saturday. We're going to try to get those videos out there. So if you were busy, you didn't get a chance to check it out, you're not going to miss out. And I talked about that with this golf package this week, that video that we just showed you guys. Jeff and I broke down 6 group bets. If you go into your, not familiar with group betting, go into your fan or your book, whether it be, well, doesn't matter which book it is. They're not sponsoring us. I'm not going to shout anybody out, but go over to group betting. In the group betting, you'll see a flight A, B, C, D, E, and F. There's a lot of different ways to use that flight betting information. Jeff and I parlayed them together. We took 5. We skipped Group A because Scotty Scheffler is just such a big favorite, and it would just make sense that he fucks us on this parlay. Parlayed the other 5 together. 5 legs that we gave out. $5 pays $5K. Does it hit? We'll see. They're all plus money spots. Can't. I mean, say can't lose. Yeah, we can lose. But we even gave you guys 2 outright leaders as well. So talked a little bit about round robin betting. If you guys aren't familiar with round robin betting, it takes all those plays, it bundles them together, throws them in the blender, and it spits out every option for the number of legs you specify. So in other words, if you took all 6 of those plays, and let's say you wanted a 3-leg parlay, right? It's going to take all 6 of those combinations. It's going to bundle them all together. It's going to give you 20 different combinations. 6 bets, 3 legs apiece. There's 20 possible combinations that covers the entire board. So now you decide, do you want to put $1 on it? It's going to cost you $20. Do you want to put $5 on it? It's going to cost you $100. It's $5 per parlay. It's giving you 20 parlays. It's $100. But my goodness, the money you can make, the money you could potentially win. And we want to continue to educate you guys with some of those betting options. Some of you guys are new. Some of you guys are experienced. Some of you guys never bet golf before. It's all fun. It's all good. Just trying to give you guys more options to get that cash. So let's get to work. Let's do just that. Man, it has been a ridiculously glorious day today. I am thrilled with the week that we've had thus far. The monster start to the day today. Yeah. Beat my chest a little bit. What the fuck? Nobody does this, you guys. Nobody. And I do appreciate you guys that are being here to do this with us. So this community's grown. We crossed over 1,600 subscribers. We're in the summertime. We're 1 year into this thing. And man, between putting up, well, I think it was like 60 something units in the NHL, we're up 100. I think it's like 120 units now in baseball. True numbers, legit growing, just giving them out here with you guys every day. This journey has been a lot of fun, and we ain't stopping. We're just getting started. So let's go. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Get your best bets out there. I want to talk about that. I want to recognize what you guys are on. Let's go together. Let's win this damn thing. Let's slay these bookies. And it starts right now. So shout out to all you guys that are here. I see Stop Geo, Nicholas Handy, Cedric says, not live yet. We're live now, baby. Redbeard's here. Dustin says, do you know you're live? Of course we did. Joe W's here. There's Ramon Scott commenting on the timing. I got to work on the transition slide, Ramon, but nailed the timing today. Dustin, appreciate you, my dude. Redbeard's giving some feedback on my Mets comments. Peter Gracia, great night and a day. To Mikey Money is money. Shout out to Vitalis, says Morel Homer to the left. You know what's messed up about the homers? You know when you're firing, you just fire. This is why it's not like, I talk about casting that wide net. You know, we're going to have our grinder days. We're going to have our 5 and 4s, our 3 and 2s, our 2 and 3s. Well, we won't have 2 and 3s because typically we're making 7, 8 bets. But in any event, when you get hot, you stay hot. That way you don't have to get hot. And I had the opportunity with DraftKings to use their live home run bonus bet. So I used it on Vladdy Guerrero. Fucking even Vladdy Guerrero went yard, dude. I mean, it's like, really? Really? I don't know if I'm sitting on a horseshoe. I'm not sure what's happening, but I don't want it to stop. So shout out to that homer. Morel homers. The Rays take the lead, says Vitalis. AJ's here. Anteater Chronicles. He's got Stoller's home run live. Peter Gracia. Sign up or go higher. It's cashing time, baby. That's absolutely right. Shout out to R. Lopez, Pirates under. Robert McCormick. He's in the house. He's ready to roll. Bobby Mack Ignatius Pennyfeather the 7th is here. Justin McKelvey. Shout out to Justin. Says sports money is money. Ignatius Pennyfeather the 7th has given us some action. He's going Kurtz and Shea. 2+ hit run RBI parlay for a plus 129. And the A's money line for a 199er. Brian Smith. Hit the iron when it's smoking hot as damn right. Go 2310. Let's go 2310. Shout out to Go 2310. 1 hour contest winner, the RBI man in the house. Gerald Jones says, what's up, crew? He's got his best bet. He's on the A's team total over 4.5. Chris Warren's here rocking and rolling with us, guys. Thank you guys all. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Let's talk some baseball. Let's get to business. Time to keep cashing. I hope. After that eloquent soliloquy, I hope we keep cashing. J Main says, got a little 3-leg. Same game parlay. Kurtz 3+ hits, runs, RBI. Soderstrom over 1.5 hits, runs, RBI. Springs under 17.5 outs. Plus 500. Betted at plus 600. So it's coming down. My man got some positive CLV there. We'll see if he can cash. We talk about the line, the cash flow. We look at the Vegas reactions behind this. You guys know the deal. If you're new here, we've talked about this several times. Early adopters. Matter of fact, if I could make any recommendations in life, 1, be a sponge. It's not for you to decide whether you need this information or not. You never know. Unless someone's telling you to fuck off. And you don't have to be a sponge. You tell that person to fuck off. 2, be an early adopter. Man, I can remember I used to do a live show with a dude, and he used to just argue all the time about where's the data come from? Where's the data come from? Dude, get on the bus or get the fuck out. And we have been early adopters with this cash flow split information. Percentage of bets we look at, typically public. Bets being written, tickets being written, parlays, props, you name it, teasers, whatever's being written, all of it. It's all the soup is percentage of bets. Then we look at the percentage of cash. We typically associate the percentage of cash with bigger bettors, sharper bettors. They're not necessarily synonymous, bigger bettors and sharper bettors. However, generally speaking, we want to look at those two combinations and then see what the books are doing. How are the books reacting in this situation? And we look at this Athletics game to pop it off at 6:45 p.m. They opened this at minus 130. They took 75% of the bet, 72% of the cash. They've moved it to minus 142. This total from 9 has come down to 8.5s, but not true 8.5s. They're shading. Because I think they're afraid there's going to be runs. 95% of the bets, 95% of the cash are on the over. And by the way, since we're talking about the shading process, if you guys didn't catch that the other day, we talked about it. We nailed that one on Monday. We talked about another one. Where were they expecting or showing some concern? The over in that Brewers game yesterday. Bit my tongue. So excited I bit my tongue. And we got it. 8.5s turned to 9s. They're shading the under. They're showing you they want you to bet the under. I'm not sure. We saw what happened yesterday in this game. And the sad part is we can't go back and play that one again because it was so glorious. But we have Springs on the bump. Springs for the A's. Cavalli for the Nats. Cavalli getting the call up, getting the start. There's not a lot to really highlight and feature in this one. I mean, the A's, I said yesterday, I don't like taking the A's as a favorite. I still stand by it. I just can't do anything about it in this case here. I think it's got to be these A spots out there. When you're the favorite and you blow a team out, you blow them out again. If you're the favorite after scoring 8 or more runs, you're 57-16. In other words, hot bats stay hot. And you're playing a meatball today. That's why I think this over's got some real life to it. You got hot bats, you got a meatball, and you got a team that just fired off 8+, 57-16, 8-2 its last 10. Big money opportunity for us here with this game on this Oakland Athletics side of things. Fucking Marlins. Marlins popped the over. I had a little extra. I had a little action on that under. It was a nice day, so I threw a little last minute bet on that. Why not? I'm a fucking sucker. I don't want to miss it 3 times, and instead I did miss it 3 times. In any event, Yeah, we're looking at Cavalli with this guy, this situation with this guy, Cade Cavalli. What are you going to do? He was recalled from my hometown, the AAA Red Wings. I haven't had a chance to see him play. Matter of fact, I haven't been to any minor league games in a minute, but hasn't started a game since August 26, 2022. He underwent Tommy John surgery. 5.75 ERA in the minors with a 1.52 whip. It's the research I could find out of this meatball. On the other side of things, yeah, Jeffrey Springs has got to be the guy that we're relying on here, but his last game was a pretty solid start. That was against Seattle. In fact, if you look back at it, 4 of his last 5 starts, he's gone 6 innings or deeper. So we got a meatball. We got a guy that looks like somebody we can count on. And we got a team that just punched a bunch of runs out there, and it's in a 57-16 position. We will take the Oakland Athletics. I will take them. Hopefully I made a good enough case for you guys to take them. Nasty Nate says he's playing cornhole, tailgating at a Lil Wayne concert. Chris Warren liked the Jays today. Cash big. They are probably still scoring. I think that final was 20-1, if I'm not mistaken. Jerry Davis took the A's first 5 and full game. A's team total over 4.5. I'm heavy on the A's. Nats not hitting lefties. Brian Smith says wind in right field at Nats Park is like a jet stream. It's amazing how well the ball carries out at right field when it's blowing in. That's excellent insight. Thank you for sharing, Brian. Ignatius Pennyfeather says Springs under 5.5 Ks. Hadn't hit it since his start in late April. I even cashed a K prop today. Speaking of, dude. So that's the way we're going to pop the top on this card tonight. We're going to take a shot with the Oakland Athletics. I know. They're a favorite. I might be coming back tomorrow saying, why did I follow up my rules of engagement? But we'll see. I'm on the cards right now, too, by the way. Run line and a sprinkle on the money line when they were down. As I said to self, this is a great spot for the Cards. Everyone's overreacting to Ohtani. Once they pull Ohtani out, the Dodgers are still the Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to Dodger. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball, but you can't be a Dodger and take my money today. Feeling good. Jerry Davis says Astros Marlins over was good money. Brian Smith likes Kurtz over 1.5 bases. My man, get that cash. Let's go on to Milwaukee. Algonquin for the good land is taking on the Atlanta Braves. Is this a trap spot? I don't know. Why are the Braves a favorite? They suck. They're getting busted up. The fuck's going on? Who knows something? Who knows what is what I want to know with this game. And so the entire planet is nuking the Atlanta Braves. Twitter planet. All these sharp cappers. It's gone from minus 136 to minus 127. 71% of the bets and 83% of the cash are on the Brewers. Is it a trap line? Well, the public and sharp bettors, but Twitter loves Atlanta today. 89% of the bets, 86% of the cash are on the over. It's gone from 8.5 down to 8. So interesting spot. They did not opt for the key number of 9. They kept it under that key number. It took all that over money and they dropped it again. So in my opinion, they're showing you their hand. They want you on this over. They're begging you to take this over. They're making it more affordable to take this over. And we're going to take the under. We're not going to fall victim to the trap. I get it. Milwaukee as a dog in this spot's very tempting, and I kind of side with Twitter today, surprisingly enough. Atlanta's a favorite. I think it's probably for a reason. As you're looking down the line, you start looking at these lineups particularly. Couple things going on, right? First and foremost, it's Jose Quintana, the lefty that'll be pitching for the Braves. He's had Two things. One, he's good to give up at least 2 runs every game, but I just can't get behind the Braves because Spencer Strider is supposed to be on a pitch count. Allegedly, he's supposed to be on a pitch count. And I always feel like if you're watching the clock, you're not watching the score. We've said this before, so I can't take the side. I can't do it. Despite the fact Jose Quintana throws slow pitch softballs underhanded across the base. Albies is hitting them for 500, Olsen for 250, Ozuna for 423, Sean Murphy for 500, Profar for 231, and Michael Harris for 231. They've all got a double-digit experience against the guy. It's not like it's one for one. Like Christian Yelich is hitting a 333 on Spencer Strider. He's only seen him 3 times. He hit him once. However, the rest of the Brewers, these red-hot Brewers, haven't seen Strider for shit. Andrew Vaughn saw him 3 times, never got any production. The problem I have with the Brewer side of things is their bullpen is so fucking atrocious. It's bad. In recent form, their ERA is almost a 6.5. Dogs that won go under the following game if there's no rest. An unrested winning dog coupled with get out of Dodge day. You just don't give a shit. 28-5 to the under. Winning dogs, no rest. Unders, 28-5. Dog won yesterday. That was the Brewers. They're the dog today. They're unrested because they just played yesterday. And then on top of that, Jose Quintana on the road, he's an under pitcher. He's 106-68 to the under. So we're not going to take the chance of fate with the rest of Twitter and why that line is sketch. It could very well be sketch, but we'll take the under 8. We'll pop this top. We'll get this under 8 rolling and see what we can do. Jerry Davis is on the Brewers. The Braves suck. Trevor Davis likes the Braves today. Fernando Mendoza says, sweet. I swept the midday afternoon card. Justin McCovey wishes he could get 3 more runs in the Dodgers game. I need that game to stop right now. Shout out to Rose Miller up in here. Justin McCovey cashed an Ohtani RBI. Nice. Albie's over 3.5 bases in the pocket. I stopped over to them other guys today. I gave out an RBI for Marcelo Ozuna because he's got 26 at-bats, 11 hits, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, and a 423 is second best on the team to Ozzie Albies. So that's what we have going on for game number 2. I got a double dip in this spot. Not a double dip. I should say 2 plays. I guess it's kind of a double dip. I guess it depends on how you quantify double dip. Not like that Phillies first 5 in full game. Hell no. That's terrible. Fucking first 5. Goes from 4 to 3.5 too. It's like, can't cash your CLV. That much is for certain. Any event, no use crying over spilt milk, right? Kansas City Royals, Boston Red Sox. Boston, the Sox have been smashing. Park the car, sit at the bar, watch the Sox. They've been cashing. Minus 134, they opened up. They're now minus 140. 75% of the bets, 63% of the cash. What are they on, a 7-game win streak now? We talked about that. Teams on 5 to 7-game win streaks like to keep popping. However, with 75% of the bets, only 63% of the cash falls on the Red Sox, creating a little differential. A little 12-point differential. One of the highest on the evening card tonight. Do they know something? What do they know, I guess, is the better question. And I think the answer is Dustin May is what they know. Surprisingly, Boston was looking for a solution and they thought Dustin May was the answer. And I got news for you. If the Dodgers, who don't give a shit about how big the check is they have to write, are willing to give up Dustin May, you got a problem. He's got a 4.85 ERA. No sense in talking about his home road because even though he's home, he's technically on the road. He was a Dodger. Then you got Michael Waka Waka on the other side of things here. And, Waka Waka on the road, he's got a 1.16 whip, a 3.38 ERA. He does go up to a 4.10 on the road. Michael Waka Waka has been playing really well the second half of the season. Came out of the All-Star break. He dealt 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, only 1 walk against Cleveland. That was at home. What's he do on the road? He goes to that red-hot Toronto, and he shuts him down. He nukes him. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned. It was a homer. He let 1 get away from him, and he shut everybody else down. Now, that's just a starting situation. Obviously, we talked about these bullpens, and we talked about these players, and, I just can't get behind Dustin May. I don't care what the Sox are doing. I'm not going to pay for this dude. 18 starts, 4.85 ERA. If you want to look at what he's done recently at Fenway, he got nuked when he played against Boston. So this ballpark shouldn't be any favors to him. There should be plenty of runs scored in this one. I shouldn't say runs. I should say I think Kansas City gets plenty of runs on this dude. That's probably the better way for me to phrase it. Because when you see the play, you'll understand. The Royals are only striking out 18% of the time since July 1st. That means they're showing plate discipline. And there's that isolated power situation that we talked about. When they hit the ball, it gets cooking. It's 199. Michael Waka, since July 1st, he's given up 8 earned runs in 28 innings. Just 15 hits. When it gets loose, it goes deep. But otherwise, he shows command and control. And he doesn't matter what side it is, lefties or righties. He's hitting a 230, or he's keeping him down to a 230. So as long as the offense can roll for Kansas City, they should kick this game right in the teeth. But I'm not done there. Because I want to get involved in this under business. Because I don't think Boston's going to be able to shove on or find contact with Michael Waka Waka. Now, I know the previous 2 games, you look at the scores and you're like, what are you thinking? Well, the first one was massive, 8-5. And then yesterday slowed down. And live bet, by the way. We live bet 2 spots yesterday. Well, we live bet a bunch of spots. Live bet the under 8.5 in the Phillies game. Cashed. Live bet the under 8.5 in the Boston game. Cashed. Maybe we see an early run. Kansas City gives up. Maybe. And they're the dog in the spot. But it's not going to scare me off it. I like this opportunity. I think this is a good-looking Kansas City team. I think they went out there and handled business against Toronto. It's tough to go back-to-back AL East teams out there against Boston, but I think they do not want to see the sweep. I think this is their best opportunity to win in the series. So we'll double dip. We'll take Kansas City at plus 123. And now this total's sitting at 8 and 8.5, depending on where your market is. Predominantly 8.5s. 8.5 at under is even money. So I moved it up to 9 just to get that little extra. I wanted to get the hook out of there is what it came down to. If this is like a 5-4 game, well, guess what? They'll still pay us Kansas City plus 123. They'll pay us it twice, essentially. So I thought this was a good opportunity. I got it up to that key number 9. Again, when they open it up below it, I think they're telegraphing their situation. And that's why I want to get after it. Nicholas Handy's on KC and is over. Jerry Davis likes KC to win and score first. I like that look. Justin McCalvey likes Kansas City first 5. He's giving that one to you guys. Justin McCalvey's got Ozuna RBI plus 155. Tailed that one. The ribeye play of the day. And I boop your nose says, I hope Casey's wins so I can have a 1 ticket left. Sorry, parlay for basketball. We've got 2 games left. We've got a WNBA game in there as well. I think there's going to be some really good spots for us to cash. I can't wait to talk to you guys about the trend in this one. It's surprising. And we're going to have to talk out loud and figure out the actual angle of attack. Boy, White Sox in Seattle. I mean, Seattle yesterday. What did they do to them? We'll be right back. It's your boy, Mikey Money. I'm inviting you to join the Sports Money crew on Winnable. Get all of our premium best bet selections.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work. You get the plays sent straight to your phone right when you need them.
Don't wait. Don't guess. Don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Back in action. Excited. Make sure you guys check it out. At least sign up for the free plays at Winnable. You do not want to miss. You can turn the text alerts on. Have them come right to your phone when these plays are getting dropped. Seattle and Kansas City. Yikes. We're not there. We're not in that series yet. We got the Sox. We got the other Sox. The little sisters of the Chicago Cubs. Now, I mentioned what I think is the best trend in all of baseball. And I told you guys about it last night. I put it on the radar last night on this show. We're looking for the Cubs to lose because nobody does it better in baseball after a loss during an afternoon game than the Chicago Cubs. And what do? They cashed. I gave it out as a premium play to our members here and over at Winnable. But there was no need because you should have known. If you watched the show yesterday, they lost to the Reds. And they play a lot of afternoon games. Remember, it wasn't until a couple of years ago that the Cubs were able to play night games. So when you got a team that's leading baseball in that stat, you don't want to fail and miss it. Here's a stat for you guys, though. Seattle's a big favorite. ... We'll talk about the stat in a second here. They open at minus 260. They're minus 267. 91% of the bets, 97% of the cash are on the Seattle Mariners. Everybody, their brother, their mother, their uncle, their sister, their dog, their fucking pet turtle bet the Seattle Mariners today. Maybe it's because they saw what happened yesterday. Looked like it was close. And then bang. Since the All-Star break, one of the most profitable teams are the Chicago White Sox. That's not even the unbelievable stat. Total 7.5 is a little unbelievable because you've got, when you look at who's on the bump, well, you got Jorge Kirby with a 4.13 ERA and Jonathan Cannon with a 4.77 ERA. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you right now that they were working on Jonathan Cannon's mechanics. He's been getting roasted. The old marshmallow at the bonfire. This guy spent a little too much time in the fire. Roasted and toasted. Jorge Kirby on the other side of things. And then just from an example, from a validation perspective, he was at home where he should be better. He played the Phillies. He went 6 innings. He got hit 7 times. He gave up 6 earned runs, 2 homers. Yikes. Only 3 strikeouts. That is the Phillies, though, in all fairness. They live him in for the 6th inning against Colorado. He wins. They go 5 innings against Cleveland. He wins. He goes 7 innings against the Pirates on the road. He wins. Goes 5. Gets pulled at the start of the 5th inning against Tampa. That's where I think I don't know if he was tipping pitches. I'm not sure what the fuck was going on. Something was going on. Read the beat reports. Or rely on me to do it. I already did. So they've been working with this guy. Extra tutelage. Expert tutelage. On the other side of things, you have Jorge Kirby. I'm going to swallow that bug as I was talking. Would have seen me yak on screen. Jorge Kirby's been firing. And that's why this number swelled as high as it is for some degree. Some degree. He came off of a shutout. He won 6 innings, got 3 hits, no runs given up out there against Texas. That was at home. He'll be on his 3rd and 4th starts at home. The unbelievable spot, though, Jorge Kirby, after a win, just won against Texas. After a win, in a big favorite situation over 200, he's 0-4. Can you believe that? In other words, this guy's a big favorite, and he blows it. Vitalis says, we like turtles. Well, the turtle's on Seattle. And hopefully you're not letting that turtle go too deep. Maybe the turtle doesn't know about the 0-4. So thinking about this out loud and talking to myself, I thought, self, This is a later game. Let's do a little due diligence and some reconnaissance here and see what the hell's going on. And ultimately, I took the White Sox first 5 plus a half. It's plus 135. It's like plus 250 to get or plus 200 maybe to get the first 5. Let me look. I shouldn't just say it like that. I shouldn't be so cavalier with 200 or 250s here. First 5s, you can get them between 210s and 220s on the money line. With the 7.5, it tells me they're expecting a lower score. If they're expecting a lower score, and we know that Jonathan Cannon's mechanics are getting tweaked with, and we know Jorge Kirby's a undeserved 200 or bigger favorite, I'm taking that White Sox first 5 plus a half. 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, 2-1, they're up. I don't care. It all pays me the same. Well, it doesn't pay me the same, but it pays me at plus 135. So I'm going to take a shot. Now, the reality is, as the game settles in, as we get closer to start time, I'm going to look at how we're doing here with these earlier plays. And do I have discretionary bankroll to fire away all over the White Sox? And if I do, the answer will be White Sox first 5 money line, full game money line, probably the full game on the run line as well. Fucking stack it high and let it fly. Now, I don't know. I'm not telling anybody to do that. Just saying we're going to wait and see what happens here. I think Cal Raleigh's a very likely RBI candidate tonight, which is on the Seattle side. So that does concern me a little bit. Against Cannon, he's seen him for 3 at-bats, 1 hit. They played 1 series against this dude. But I'm willing to take the gamble, literally, that Jorge Kirby in that 0-4 spot, maybe he goes 6 or 7 innings. But they're tied after the first 5, and I get my cash at plus 135. That's the way I want to get that payday right there. 0-4. One more run for the Cards, huh? Jerry Davis likes to play the White Sox against lefties. Well, Jorge Kirby's a righty, unfortunately. Shout out to Nick Reinhardt joining us here today. Silent Rob. So, sup, Mikey? We going to get some survivor pools going again this year? Yeah, we're looking at it for same site's going to be in operation this year. We've been doing that for 10 plus, I think. So we will roll back to it. I'll get some info for you guys. We'll talk about that for the Saturday show for sure. Start to get some things rolling there. Man, we gave away a ton of survivor entries last year. It was fun. It's fun having, I think we all lost in like the first or second week. That was not fun. That was kind of embarrassing. You guys made me look bad. Which one was it? Was it Seattle? I can't remember who it was that lost that first week. There was a lot of people on it. It wrecked I remember the Circus Survivor pool lost like 60% of the people, the entries in the first week. All right, game number 2. We're looking at the last game. Game number 2 of the evening. The last game of the evening. The San Diego Padres, the Fathers, the Friars, and the Diamondbacks. Now, game 1, we took the Diamondbacks. Game 2, we took the Padres. It was an extra innings explosion. Prior to that, though, it was a lower scoring game to some degree. Anthony DeSclafani will start on the Diamondbacks. Nestor Cortez, Nasty Nestor, coming out of the woodwork. Nasty Nestor got shut down by the Yankees, finds himself a home with none other than the Padres. This guy is their answer as they acquire and bring this guy in. Impressive note, Nasty Nestor has shut down the Diamondbacks. Garrio's got the most at-bats against them with 14. He's hitting an 0.71. Perdomo, 2 at-bats with a hit. Do you want to call that a 500? I mean, by the surface, it is. Blaze Alexander. Who the fuck is Blaze Alexander? Somehow he's seen him 3 times. He hit him twice. He drove in a run. It's the extent of the experience out there on the Arizona side of things. Flip side, you look over at DeSclafani. Louis Arise is very alive tonight, I think. He has seen DeSclafani 6 times. He's hit him 5 times. He's driven in 2 RBIs. He's hitting an 833. It's one of the highest I've seen with any sample more than 1 or 2. And then there's Manny, Big Dick Manny Machado, 22 at-bats, 5 hits, 5 runs, 5 RBIs rather, 227. So the top of the order, Tatis, Arise, and Machado, sure. The rest of the order's suspect. And I'm leading the witness because I better double check. What the hell's going on here? Where did this go? There it is. There it is. Taking the under. Going to pop the under to finish off this Major League Baseball card. Major League Baseball game number 3s. After a big score, and I think a 10-5 was the final, qualifies as a big score. The under has cashed 226 to 160 times. A little bit more of an indicator that, hey, we're going to back some pitching. Now, unders at this time of the season are not for the weak of heart, so take that for what it's worth. This did open over that key number of 9. When you look at the cash flow split, 62% of the bets, 94% of the cash are on the Padres. I get it. If I was going to take a side, I'd take the Padres. Minus 154 has moved down to minus 139. 72% of the bets, 79% of the cash are on the over 9.5, and it's juiced to the under. So I think they're telegraphing that just a little bit for us. I think they're showing us it is the desert. Maybe that's why we're seeing that 9.5. I just think it's going to flirt with that number, and maybe we see like an 8 spot. I'm hoping for an 8 spot. I'm hoping this thing stays under this total at 9.5. We'll ride that little trend and try to cash ourselves some business there. And we'll move on to the WNBA for the last play of the day. Cedric says, with a name like Blaze, you have to show up. Yep. It's a good call. Jerry Davis says, our guy at Ramon Scott's against our KC pick. That happens. It's fine. It's fine. I prefer to align, but we don't have to. We can't root Ramon on, though. That we can't do. We'll have to stop short of rooting Ramon Scott on. But we can root him on for the rest of the games. He can make some cash on the rest of the games as long as he's not against us. We love Ramon. All right, let's go. We got the WNBA. There's one game in play tonight. And you guys laugh, but we're fucking slaying the WNBA, man. Some of you guys are like, I don't know why you're playing the WNBA, because we keep banging. We went 2-0 yesterday. By the way, the best call of the day was probably staying off that Angel Reese spot. Fired coach situation in the Chicago Sky. Go out there and fire. Talk about all the angles. We don't care about birthdays or bobbleheads, but we do care about fired coach angles. Chicago Sky had no business winning that game. 78-64, they win that game. No Angel Reese. No problem. Fired coach prevails. And we did talk about that Dallas Wings with the 11 that came down to 10.5. And I said, it just moved down to 10s, and I can't give that to you guys. It didn't matter. They lost by 9. It was sweaty, but that cashed too. So even the leans are cashing for us. Fucking links. How many times? This is what's great about the WNBA. Not that you need me for a sell job. First and foremost, surprising as it is, if you're not familiar, there's been 3 green dildos that have made their way to the court. I love that it's a thing. These girls were running around saying, pay us what we're worth. And a week later, they're getting green dildos thrown at them. It's just ironic. That being said, it's not really ironic. It's just comical to me, I guess. That being said, officially today, the handle for the, will there be another green dildo? Will it be green? What side of the court? All those prop bets have surpassed the biggest handle of any game in the WNBA. They're betting the green dildo prop bet more than they're betting the sides or totals. It's unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. But that being said, as we look at this game here, we've got, I think one big thing to recognize here. So this line opened up at, what was it, 2.5? Let me look. No, I guess it opened at 6. I thought I saw a look ahead. Yeah, it was a 2.5, and it moved. Anyways, it moved with injury news. The injury news isn't good for the Valkyrie. You know, the Valkyrie are they're a strong team at home. There's no doubt about it. I think they've got the best record in the league at home. Let me check. I don't have it written down. I thought I did. In any event, these two teams just played. So there's the immediacy of bounce back revenge. And you know I like that angle. Traditionally. However, this last game, they just got busted up. It was 101-77. It's 3 days later. We got to see what's happening with, is it Zandalasini? I'm not sure how to say it. And Hayes. Those are two players for the Valkyrie that should be out for this game. They were listed as questionable. I know they got the home court. You just got busted up. This line's come down. This isn't one of those spots where you're like, why is the index coming down if they just busted them up? Well, because they're at home. So that last game was on the road at Vegas, and they had just completed, well, you got the All-Star break in there too, but they had 5 straight road games. So where's the toughest place to play after 5 straight road games? That first game back home. All those factors going into it, the injuries, the fact they just thumped and lumped them. I'm a little concerned about the under. I saw a lot of people talking about the under. I'll address it. The total was 157 that last game. It obviously sailed way over. They got 178 points. I think they're showing you 159.5 means they open it up 2.5 points higher. Generally, when I see that, the books aren't backing down. Like, I would feel better about the under if they open it at 154 or 155, like the traditional low scoring 155. I'd feel a lot better about that. Now, the advantage is neither of these teams really do anything defensively. They can play ball, but the fast break factors, they suck. They don't just like turn the ball over and go down and bang it. Like, they spend too much time trying to set shit up, and that leads to unders. So I get the under. I get why the under makes sense, but I'm going to take the Aces. I'm going to lay the 5.5. They just thumped them. Now, the other thing going into this is if you believe in neutrality or things regressing to the means, the Valkyrie are 2-1 against the spread on the Aces. So the reality is this is a spot for them to get to even, 2-2. It's another little factor I like to consider. Not that it really sways the needle that much, but can certainly validate. It can certainly help me check the box and not try to fall for that trap. So we'll see. We'll see if it's a favorite tonight. It's a road favorite. This Golden State squad. Welcome back home, girls. With your injuries, I think you're going to get busted up. We'll lay the 5.5. And this is the way we're going to put a bow on this show tonight, you guys. How about that? We're done. Got side. I mean, it was only a 6 slate card, so it's not like we had a ton of mountain to climb here, but I do appreciate everybody that joined us. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. We're going to shoot first strike tonight. That'll be out probably around 9:30ish tonight. Be able to go check out what's happening from the squad. We're going to give you 3 best bets. MMA Jeff won last week. I lost last week. I had been on a 3-game winning streak. So we'll see if I can bounce back. I'm telling you right now, my play is a plus 260. I think it's a plus 260. And you might say, whoa, cash to plus 185, cash to plus 185, cash to plus 165, missed a 170, all plus monies. And I got a 260 for you guys here. So thank you guys all for checking us out. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. 9 a.m., you'll see the morning steam. 6 p.m., win or lose, I'll be back here to tell you what we did, how we did it, why we did it, and what we're going to do again for Thursday night. There will be 3 preseason football games tomorrow. These lines have already moved incredibly a ton. I would tell you I like the 3.5 better than the 4.5 for the first half of the Cincinnati Reds. Also, worth noting, I'm going to take Osaka tonight. Take Osaka in tennis. It's a little pricey tag, so you may want to try to find a way to get that thing in there. I'll tell you, I'm going to take a look at how I'm going to play it. Sitting around minus 165 against Clara Towson. I like Clara Towson. 7:30 start. Maboko. Ramon Scottsdale. Victoria Maboko. Lost the first set 6-1. She's up 3-0 in the second set. I may have sprinkled her a little bit, but I will be taking Naomi Osaka at 7:30. And good luck with everybody's bets tonight. Thank you guys all for checking us out. We'll be back. We'll be ready to attack. And I'll leave you guys with this. Monday to Friday, 6 p.m. We don't stop. Rain, sleet, or snow. Pregaming is good to go.
Snow, Curtis, blow, flow, fuck all you haters. Fuck making bitch using best simulators. Fuck cash
Bye.